Glory to Jesus Christ. This beautiful gospel which we read today, and this beautiful story about a man who heard Lord's voice and reacted in correct way. And maybe when we are listening to this story or other stories, maybe we are a little bit jealous. Maybe say, or maybe we think, why it is that God doesn't give me this kind of calling, this kind of invitation which would so transform our soul that I would be able to do the same thing. But if we think this way, we are very, very wrong. Because God, who wishes our salvation, He gives us a lot of similar invitations. Come down. Come down from this level when your egoism and pride rules over your life. Come down to me. And these invitations are very often overheard because they come in many forms. And sometimes we are aware of this, and sometimes we are so consumed by our thoughts, by our vision of the world, our life, that we are not able to hear that. These moments when God really calls us with intensity are many times these moments when we are sick, for example, when hard or difficult, serious sickness comes to our life. And many times we try to do everything. We try to really find the best doctors to heal us. And many times we don't think about that. It's that it might be God's calling, God's reminder about our soul, about need to make repentance. Many times there are unpleasant situations which come to our life when we feel that injustice was done to us. These painful moments when we are not understood by others, or the others, they cause problems and difficulties without reason in our life. And we try to fight what is some kind natural to our fallen nature. We try to get back our justice, our position. We want to blame them that, well, you are wrong. We want to win this moment. But we many times forget that it might be allowed by God that this situation came to our life to shake with our soul, with our mind, with our heart, to call us to come down to Lord. Because He is inviting Himself to our house, to our heart. And there are even special invitations, and those are not rare. Saint Theophan de Reclus, he says in his book Our Spiritual Life, actually he starts his book with this moment. He describes a moment when one lady, young lady, she attended an annual ball for dancing, and in the middle of dance, in the middle of this spinning at the dancing floor, like in one moment, this glimpse of immortality of her soul came to her mind. In this sparkle, she realized that there is something deeper which was given to her than what she lives. And at the moment she saw everything in her, this dance she enjoyed, this opportunity, this activity, everything lost value in her eyes. She was there, but seeing everything like nothing, without value. And if we think, we find these moments in our life when we ask ourselves, what I'm doing? Does it make sense what I'm doing? Why I am doing this or this or this? Why I am consumed by this or that activity? Don't we have these moments when somehow this glimpse of understanding comes to us when we see everything as not important? That there are other things which are more important. For sure, if we search our soul and life, we find these moments. And we can ask then, okay, but if we felt this God's calling through sickness, through some kind of unpleasant situation, through many other situations which come to our life and cause pain, or through this unexpected moment when we really feel that God touched us and showed us that it is not, that the earth and happiness in this earth is not our final goal. Why it is that we are not able to follow example of Zacchaeus? Why we are not able to really go down and follow Christ and to really let this grace transform our hearts and our life? And this is a very good question. And we have to realize that Holy Fathers, they teach us that, well, this visit of God's grace, this God's calling, we can waste this moment if we let business of our life rule over us. Many times we feel this moment, but we say, well, okay, I need to finish this or this. Maybe tomorrow I have to arrange my life. Now I have these duties. How many times it is that our busyness kills this moment of grace? Or we can kill this moment of grace because we with intentions choose fun over this relationship with God, because we feel that, well, it means to give up something and we are not able to do this. Or there is another serious reason that we are not looking for help, that we are trying to manage our way to God by ourselves. I mean, have in mind this prodigal son from Gospel and who came to his senses in this far country. He stood up and he started to go back home, and we say we can do the same, but we are not in the same situation. This prodigal son, he knew Father very well. He knew exactly how his home looks like. He knew exactly what kind of rules are in home, in house of his father. He knew where to go, and he could go safely. But if we don't have this experience, where and which direction we are going to take? Are we going to search that how to get to God, what kind of steps to do, if we don't know even how to get there? And somehow our pride says, you can do this. But true is that we need help. We need somebody who already made this way to Father's house. We need their direction, their help to show us, make this step, choose this path, because it is safe for you and it brings you fast to the gates of heaven. This gospel says about great God's mercy and love. This gospel we heard today tells us that God really wishes, that it is His desire for us to come to Him, to be saved. And for sure, He gives us very often these intensive moments of invitation. So let's try pray, or maybe to ask and beg today during this liturgy for understanding, for discerning of these moments, and for a really good answer. Then when this moment comes, then I will start to look for help. Then I will start to look for advices how to walk, what I am supposed to do. In spiritual, like literature, we call it like spiritual direction. Help of those who became saints already. To ask, we should ask them for their advice for our journey. Without that, we will waste each God's invitation, even if we recognize this invitation, even if we feel with intensity this God's love. Amen.